Back deep receiving for Booneville. 21 is Greg Simmons, and 22 is Tony Fryer. Both of them average good yardage on return. And we're ready to get underway. And we're underway. High kick, short. Tony Fryer will take it, drop it, and fumble it at the 12-yard line. There's a scramble for it, and I believe Philadelphia's got it. And they do. Philadelphia's going to have it 1st and 10 on their Booneville 12-yard line. May make it to 14. And it's going to be a tough start for the Blue Devil defense. That's about as tough a break as I could imagine having on the opening kickoff. Well, let's line up the defense for Booneville. We'll have 4 down linemen. Frankie Reese, Chris Murphy, Jerry Etheridge. And on this end will be Joseph Johnson. Linebackers Jimbo Laster, Eddie Nunn, Sammy McVeigh. Split backfield for the Tornadoes. He keeps the ball, the quarterback number 14, and scrambles to the 10-yard line. 14 is Taneska Hoskins, one of their major ball carriers. He'll keep it alive. The Tornadoes come to the line. He's in the power I. Quarterback Hoskins gives right at the middle on the dive and stops in the middle of the Booneville line. Jimbo Laster's in there. Many others. Sammy McVeigh, Benji Houston. 3rd down, about 2. Hoskins once again in the power I. Booneville stacks it in. The give up to the 36, and he's not going to get there to the 1st down strike. It's going to be just across the 10-yard line. And what's Philly going to do? Big play early in this ball game. 4th down, 2 yards to go. Philadelphia going for it. The option play, he pitches and it's a fumble. He dives back on it, it doesn't matter. It's going to be Booneville's ball, 1st down. Great job by the Booneville defense, Ken.
Oh, actually, good time for this to happen. Booneville had the football, started off, they turn it over. Defense again. Reminds me of last week's Oklahoma ball game. Defense, defense.
Exactly. This is great. Great job for the defense. Now let's see what the offense can do. We're going to give you the offensive lineup as we can. Of course, quarterback, Scott Brown. Scott's a senior. His major running backs are going to be 44 D. Jenkins, Sammy McVeigh, number 1, and Eddie Nunn will start at fullback. They're going to run the wishbone. 1st and 10. The give to D up the middle. D's going to get good yardage on 1st down. Give you some more lineup. Of course, Bronson Tabler is your wideout. No, now they got D coming down at wideout. D. Jenkins, Sammy McVeigh in the backfield. Frankie Reese at tight end on one side. The give to Sammy. And he fumbles, and Philadelphia's going to have the football again. It's going to be Philadelphia's ball on the 24-yard line. Pre-game jitters are with us, Ken.
Situation right now with the 2 turnovers that hurt us. Of course, we're deep in Philadelphia territory. They're still earning, but if you hate to lose some momentum at this point in the ball game, you have to play good defense again.
The Tornadoes come to the line, same set they've been showing us. Once again on the option, no dive man, and 32 slips down. No gain, 32 is Jacob Tisdale. 2nd down, 11. Ball is on the 26-yard line off Booneville. Split backfield, fake, and the play action across the middle to the far side. Wide open is number 88 for the touchdown, Derek Rush. The tight end just came out on a little button hook pattern and was wide open. 6-0 Philadelphia. Philadelphia is going to have to use the timeout. They can't get their kicking shoe on. After the timeout, Philadelphia lines up for the extra point. Good snap, and we've got a good extra point, but there's a flag on the play. 2 flags on the play that I see. Booneville's going to have 12 men on the field. So Philadelphia will have a choice of taking the extra point, or they can move it half the distance and then maybe even go for 2 from there. That's illegal participation, 12 men on the field. And they're going to decline it and take their 1 point. With 7:58 to go in the first quarter, Philadelphia 7 and Booneville nothing. Willie Boyd once again to kick off. High kick, short. Be received about the 15-yard line by Greg Simmons. Greg's got a good lane to the near side. He's going to be out of bounds about the 31-yard line. Booneville will start it off 1st and 10 there. Booneville's offensive line, Brian Fisher, Chris Murphy, Jimbo Laster centering, Joseph Johnson on the other guard, and then Jerry Etheridge at the far tackle. Up the middle, D. Jenkins gets about 3. Bring up 2nd down.
And now goes to running back number 44, D. Jenkins.
Booneville comes to the line and fakes the dive, and he drops the ball. Scott Brown drops it after faking the dive and kind of hit Eddie Nunn right there on the hip, and the ball popped out. We're going to have a 5-yard penalty on Booneville, and Philadelphia probably will take this penalty. It's going to be backfield in motion, I believe, on the tailback. No, they did decline the penalty. So we're going to have 3rd down and about 7 for the Blue Devils. Scott Brown comes to the line with a split backfield. Needs a 1st down to get any breathing room. The handoff up the middle, D. Jenkins. He's going to be stopped short of the 1st. Gets just across the 35-yard line. We're going to have punt formation for the Blue Devils.
Brings up a 4th down for the Blue Devils.
Benji Houston is Booneville's punter. He's had an excellent average at the high school level this year and excellent net average. Watch for number 21, Greg Simmons, as he does punt coverage. Nobody is better at punt return coverage than Greg Simmons, number 21. The snap from Brian Fisher is a good one. The punt is up and away. A long end-over-end kick. Oh, a good Booneville bounce. All the way inside the 20-yard line, inside the 15. And they're going to touch it down right there at the 13-yard line. Great field position up there. We're at the 6-minute mark. Philadelphia with a 7-0 lead. Quarterback Toskins comes to the line. A long snap count. The dive up the middle. Number 32 is Jacob Tisdale. He's going to get a couple, not more than that. So far, our defense has played really well except for one breakdown. Nobody was covering the tight end, number 88 rush, and wide open for a touchdown pass. Other than that, the defense is playing and pursuing real well. 2nd down, about 6.5 yards. He's got Crockett at tailback, Tisdale at fullback. Now they move into the split backfield. Fakes the dive, quarterback keeps, and good play. Samuel McVeigh slowed him down, and Johnny Murphy finished him off. Johnny Murphy, one of our best defensive ball players all year long. Philadelphia comes to the line in a power I on 3rd and 8. Quarterback fakes the dive. They're going to be wrapped up there. Number 8, Benji Houston, and Scott Brown, number 5. Good pursuit on the option. Good pursuit on the option. They're going to be...
Bring up a 4th down for the Tornadoes.
Just short of the 20-yard line. 4th down and 4. McVeigh will be back to receive the kick. Roberts' punt is a short one. McVeigh calls for a fair catch and makes it right there at the 49-yard line, where Booneville will have it 1st down and 10.
You know, Cliff, excellent field position for the Blue Devils, and I think early in the ball game you've seen 2 fumble turnovers by Booneville. They're jittery. They're a little bit nervous. This is the first trip for Booneville to ever go this far, so it's still early, and we're still not too far, not too big a hole, you might say. And defense we relied on, they played real well at this point, so now we've got football in real good field position, and maybe we can put some points on the scoreboard.
That's exactly right. Coach Jerry and I talked about the special teams playing a big part in this, and you're seeing the field position war coming into play now. Scott Brown, the quarterback sneak, That was the play that we ran against Nettleton on 1st down and 10 about every time we had the football, and it worked very well. Scott Brown to the line. He's got a slot man, Eddie Nunn. Wide out, Bronson Tabler. The quick pitch over to D. Jenkins to the outside. And he's pushed out of bounds after a short gain. Big play coming up on 3rd down. Several hundred fans here from Booneville into this ball game. The wishbone. Brown with the give to Sammy. He gets good yardage, and he's going to be very close to the 1st down, Ken. I think he's going to have it. They are going to look at it. Good blocking interior line there. Murphy, Laster. Johnny Murphy also was in there that time. Uh-oh, I'm afraid he's short. No, he's got it by, I mean, just barely he's got that 1st down. Scott Brown out of the wishbone. The give, up the middle, D. Jenkins. Going to be across the 35 to 34. Good yardage on 1st down. Second down, about 6, maybe 5.5. Split backs, the quick pitch to the near side to Sammy. Good extra effort for the dive. He's going to get to about the 33. Not much of a gain there. Another big 3rd down play, 3rd down and 4. They're in tight in the wishbone. He gives it to Sammy again, and an extra effort again is going to get him to the 29-yard line, which is exactly where the 1st down stripe is. Depends on the spot. And it's going to be, once again, very close. I'm going to guess it's going to be 4th down and 1 inch.
The concession stands located on both sides of the field.
Well, you always ask the question too, Clip, if it's 4th down and inches, what do you do here?
That's a real good question.
Running the ball game, we got to go for it, no question.
Right, a punt's not going to help you very much here, especially if it goes into the end zone. But maybe it's a 1st down. Oh, no, it's not. We're like talking about an inch there. I think there's no doubt what they're going to do here. Coach Drury has already sent Scott back in the ball game. Tim Moore, the offensive coordinator, also in on the play calling. They're looking concerned down there on the coaching staff. We've had several big plays early in this ball game, Ken.
This is probably the biggest right now for Booneville at this point.
Brown, the quarterback keeper, no doubt. 1st down, Blue Devils.
Smart call by Booneville. Smart call by Booneville.
Exactly. Very good play. He ran right over Joseph Johnson, probably our one of our linemen with the best size. Maybe not in weight, but he's got good size and a good job by Johnson to get that thrust, and also the center, Jimbo Laster. 1st and 10. We're sustaining a drive now. The give once again to D. Jenkins, this time for nothing.
Jenkins gets the call.
He's wrapped up there by their big defensive play man. That's going to be number 88, Derek Rush. And if you remember, he's also the man that scored the touchdown. Going to have 2nd and 9. Going to be a quick pass out to Bronson Tabler. Wide open, it's complete. And Bronson hit hard. And it's going to be about an 8-yard gain. Can't say enough about Bronson Tabler, Ken. He has come through with big catches every time we've needed him to this year. And Scott Brown with his arm been very trustworthy on the passing plays when we've had to run it. And that's going to be it on the 1st quarter. As we go into the 2nd quarter, of course, Philadelphia with a 7-0 lead. Booneville band's playing the fight song, and this game is far from being over. the second quarter coming up, and it's 3rd down and 1. The power eye, D. Jenkins, up the middle. He's going to have the first down. Booneville definitely sustaining a drive right here. It's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 16.5-yard line. Brown, after getting the play from Tim Moore and Coach Drury, comes to the line in tight, 2 tight ends offense. The give once again, same play to D. Jenkins. He's finding an opening. He's going to make it to the near sideline. Touchdown. We've got a 7-6 ball game. The play worked out beautifully. B.G. Houston blocked down, got the defensive end out of the play, and D. Jenkins walked into the end zone.
Once D gets outside, it's extremely difficult to catch up with him. And we've been running the inside game to open up the outside, then open it up. And once D turns the corner, the afterburners come on, and watch out.
Now let's watch this play develop. As you see, Booneville lines up to the left side and comes over into the middle. And Jimbo Lasher's got to get his shoe tied inside of 25 seconds, or he's going to be looking at 5 more yards on a kick. They're going to be able to get the play off. Good snap, good hold, and right through the upright. We've got a tie ball game at 7. We've got 11:35 to go in the second quarter. Let him get. Coach Roddy Presley gets his kickoff team together. And one thing, Ken, yesterday's Clarion Ledger, some editorial prognosticating expert was picking the football games, and he said this. He said, I'm going to pick Philadelphia and Booneville on this premise. Philadelphia beat Booneville 25-0 earlier in the year, and Booneville has not gotten one bit better since then, so I'm going to say it's going to be 25-0 again. Where in the world did he get the idea we have not improved since that first Philadelphia game? Can you tell me that?
We've got a timeout, Cliff, for Booneville.
We're going to use a timeout.
Back to your question about why and how he picked that ball game, it's kind of misunderstood at this point. All the other games he picked in the paper were very close as far as scores, except for the Booneville-Philadelphia game, and based on the fact they played earlier in the year. But still, he hasn't seen these Blue Devils throughout this year progress each game, and the momentum, you might say, really started about the 6th ball game of the year.
That's right. There's no way he could have seen us during the playoffs if he believes we hadn't changed. I don't know if you can get a shot of this or not, but I've got the binoculars. The reason we had to call the timeout is because Brian Fisher's shoestring broke. You can see on the other side of Scott Brown, his broken shoestring is on the field. And that could be a big timeout for us, to have to use it on a broken shoestring. Unfortunate there. Brian Fisher's ready now. They got him a new shoestring and everything. He's going to take it to the far hash to kick off. He still hasn't tied his shoe yet. I don't know if we're going to get this play off at all anyway. He is rushing now to get it off, and the referee is looking at his watch, but it looks good. Fisher's kickoff is a short kick. Going to be fielded by the up man at the 20-yard line. Breaks 2 tackles, and it took about 2 to get him down there. Still not bad coverage. Good kickoff coverage, but it was a short kick. Paul Comer with a nice tackle, number 65. And it looks like the run and shoot now Philadelphia is going to show us. Man in motion, number 36. Could fake the dive, and quarterback number 14 is going to be wrapped up by Sammy McVeigh. Hoskins, the quarterback, Ken, does a real good fake on that dive.
Well, of course, Philadelphia, earlier in the season, was in a split backfield. They've gone more or less from indications from prior games to an I backfield. Of course, in that one, they had basically some type of a pro set with a lot of people split out in different areas. So still a long way to go. 7-7 ball game. But it looks better than it did about 5 minutes ago.
It really does, and very few penalties called thus far. The officials crew out of Laurel, Mississippi working this ball game. Philadelphia going to show us another run and shoot look. No tight ends. Fakes the dive, the pitch. 33, Tisdale is wrapped up by Scott Brown, and Tony Fryer comes up to help out.
That's basically what they were doing then. They had a double slot to the far side of the field and ran one of the slot men back in motion. They still run their basic option, but they're making it with a different look. That time somebody's got the responsibility to pitch man to come up pick him up.
Right, that was a favorite play of Ole Miss several years ago, wasn't it?
Well, of course, Ole Miss runs option quite a bit in their offense.
I remember they used to run a man in motion as their pitch man. Correction, 33 is not Tisdale. They've got Timothy Bowler in the game now. And now back to Tisdale in the backfield. It's going to be a quick pass out to 86, and that's going to be covered well by the Blue Devils. Eddie Nunn, a fine tackle, picture book play. Bronson Tabler was also there.
Cliff, I was wanting to know, since the game has started, has there been any offensive threat except for the one touchdown on the pass to Philadelphia?
That's a good point. You know, I don't believe that they've had a first down in this ball game, with the exception of that little pass across the middle. Timeout, Philadelphia. They're going to think about this on 4th down and inches. With 9:05 to go in the second quarter, we got a tie ball game at 7. Big play coming up for Philadelphia here. They called a timeout to think about what they wanted to do. They're not even to the 40-yard line of Booneville, of their own 40-yard line, and they're going to go for it on 4th down. He dropped the ball to his knee, and it's going to be Booneville's ball either way. The fumble, I believe, is recovered by number 84, Frankie Reese. The quarterback just never got the snap, and I mean, that is a huge break for Booneville.
Big play for the Blue Devils. Taking over now in good field position. Momentum from our last drive, and we need to get 7 more points on the scoreboard right now. Hopefully, keep these tornadoes down.
Not to play armchair coach, but do you go for 4th down and inches when you're not even to the midfield stripe yet?
Well, it's a gusty call. You know, you look at it from this standpoint. If he made it, everybody says he's a hero.
Right.
Of course, now he didn't make it, so everybody might say he's a goat.
But you would have thought a quarterback sneak, and he was trying to give the dive, which even tougher. All right, the I formation for the Blue Devils. It's going to be a straight drop back pass. Throw into the near side. Bronson Tabler gets one hand on it, but could not come up with it inbounds. 2nd down and 10, 8:19 to go in the first half. We tried a good little pass pattern on 1st down to open it up a little bit. And we're going to pass it again. The 5-step drop and the screen to D. Jenkins, and it's dropped. The pass will be incomplete. Even if he'd have caught it, I believe would have lost yardage, Ken. That's probably a good thing he dropped that ball. They had it covered.
Well, it's a little bit surprising at this point that, I don't know, maybe you're trying to open things up a little bit. I'm not second-guessing anybody for sure. We've run well. Now we come back to the pass. 3rd down and 10, big play now for Blue Devils.
Yeah, that's a good point. Going to send Brian Fisher on. Johnny Murphy comes out of the ball game. In the skill positions, you've got Bronson Tabler in the ball game. You got Benji Houston. They can catch the pass. You're going to have Eddie Nunn in the slot back, and you're going to have D. Jenkins and Sammy McVeigh also in the ball game. So it looks like another passing play. Somebody moved, and they're going to call a live ball foul against Booneville for procedure. If they'd have called a dead ball foul, we'd have had another chance at it, but it's not going to be, and it's going to bring up 4th down. They're certainly not going to take this penalty. I don't know what happened. It seemed that Laster may have snapped that ball early because it didn't seem like Brown was expecting it. Sammy had just started going in motion.
The penalty is declined by the Tornadoes.
4th down now.
For the Blue Devils.
Ball's on about the 37-yard line.
That's right.
You'd like to drop a punt in on about the 5-yard line.
Exactly.
See what they'll do.
You know, a punt into the end zone is only going to net 17 yards here, so that's really not going to do much for. You got to think about the fake. No, they're going to kick it. A high kick, and it's going to come down right where we want it to, I think. Can they cover it? Bronson Tabler covers the kick, spotted at the 2-yard line. Excellent coverage by Tabler, an excellent punt by Benji Houston. With 7:49 to go in the half, Philadelphia is going to be back in their own territory. Back Tisdale is almost standing in his end zone. He's going to give on the dive. 32 is going to get almost to the 5-yard line for a small bit of breathing room. That's Tisdale. Going to bring up 2nd down and about 7.5, which I'm sure the Booneville line did not want to give up that much.
2nd down, 8.
The Booneville band has not sat down since they got into the stands. Many of the fans have not sat down. The emotion here has been running high for the past 2 days. Another dive play to Tisdale. And, you know, to say more about that, those of you that were not able to come down, it's been a once-in-a-lifetime thing for Booneville. And the spirit here and the backing that the boosters have given Booneville, the band, the cheerleaders, very much so the cheerleaders, it's been excellent. It really has, Ken.
Yeah, it's really been good. The weather's beautiful. Everything has gone good so far. David Weston, eat your heart out.
Exactly, exactly.
3rd and 4 for the Tornadoes.
3rd down and 4. If Booneville can stop Philadelphia here, been a real good situation as far as field position. He's dropping back to pass. He's going to the far sideline. Bronson Tabler has got him covered up. He almost made the interception. Tabler did not give an inch on that pass coverage. He couldn't come up with the interception, but it was still a big play. It's going to be 4th down, certainly a punting situation, and maybe even a block situation for the Blue Devils. They may set up the return, but they may set up the punt block here as deep as we've got them.
Of course, you always worry about the snap over the kicker's head. It'd be nice now to bounce on the ball in the end zone for a touchdown.
That would make up for that early bad break we got.
We'll take field position now right here without any problem.
That's exactly right.
Back to receive for the Blue Devils.
A good snap from center. And it's a good spiral. Sammy's going to field it at the 40-yard line, and he's going to have the fair catch. Mark the ball at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Great field position for the Devils. Plenty of time, 6 minutes to go. Time will not be a factor here if we can just stick the ball in the end zone. Brown takes the snap, and D. Jenkins is wrapped up for a loss on the play. His knee went down, but we do have a flag. The line judge to the near side has thrown a live ball flag, which means that whoever's on can take the play or the penalty. He's calling for a white captain, so that means it's going to be on Booneville, probably an illegal procedure. And I would imagine they'll decline this. Well, I know they will. Illegal motion again. He's called that 4 times, Ken. I don't know what we're doing wrong.
I still think it goes back to the jitters.
Motion penalty.
We're still riding a high. We're still a little, say, nervous.
Right.
We've had several motion calls that have hurt us. But I can understand being scared because it's very, very difficult playing this type of ball game under these conditions.
That's right, and maybe trying to get that little bit of a head start if you're a running back to get to the line. Quick pitch to D. He tries to turn it up, but it's really unsuccessful. Can't even get back to the original line of scrimmage, but he does gain about 3 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and 12. So
By number 31,
Philadelphia played that really well. They made him run to the sidelines in order for the defense to come up, and there was no room when he got out there.
And Booneville's going to use a timeout. Coach Drury brought the entire team to the near sideline for the discussion on which play to choose. 3rd and 12 once again. Bronson Tabler splits out to the near side. Sammy McVeigh in the slot position. Straight drop back pass. He's going down the middle, and right in wide open territory is Bronson Tabler. 1st down for the Blue Devils. It's a good little slant-in pattern. What they did, Ken, they put the slot back, ran an out pattern. The wide-out man ran a little slant in, and it was really basically a cross pattern, and it worked really well, confused Philadelphia's defensive backfield. A good high-percentage passing play on 3rd down and 12.
The big thing, 1st down.
That's exactly right. And the 22-yard line, the handoff up the middle of D.
Okay, Cliff, I don't know if you noticed on that particular play, Booneville uses a lot of unbalanced line. By that, they bring a tackle or guard over from one side or a tight end. And there's 4 on the left side of the center that time. I noticed late in the playoffs, Booneville began to use an unbalanced line, and that's the first time today I've seen them in that formation. It gives one more man to the blocking side that they're running to.
And Coach Drury said Monday night at the Boosters Club he did not expect to use a whole lot of unbalanced line. So you're right, that's a little surprising. D. Jenkins finds an open hole. Gonna gain about 4 or 5.
Cliff, I hope the writer for the Clarion Ledger is here to see this football game. He might change his ideas about the Blue Devils at this point.
That's right. I was shocked when they showed me the article about Booneville not improving at all since the first time they played. Well, you know, we were what, 2-2 at that time. Now we're since then 9-0. You know, there's a big difference. Big third down play once again. Scott Brown looks at split backfield. The pitch again to Jenkins to the wide side. Good block by Sammy McVay to open it up for him, and he does lose his footing, but he's going to have the first down. Did you see that block by McVay? It was an awesome block by the man that had to be knocked down before that first down was going to be made.
If Sammy hadn't have fallen down, there would have been 6 more points for the Blue Devils.
Right, yes.
But it's amazing. It's amazing in football to have one good running back, but for Booneville, they've got 2.
And one thing to know about Booneville's running backs, I'll tell you after this play. The pitch to Sammy, a good block by Greg, and he turns it back in. Going to bring up second down. Coach Drury told me yesterday when they were loading the bus that D. Jenkins and Sammy McVay have combined for 2,500 rushing yards thus far in the year and 33 touchdowns. And I'm not going to be exact, but if I'm not mistaken, D has got 17 touchdowns. Sammy has got 16 touchdowns to their credit. D has 1,300 rushing yards and Sammy has 1,200. That is unbelievable in the high school level. Sammy on the pass. 89. Oh, he dives for it, but can't come up with it. A good lob pass over the defenders by Sammy, but Eddie Nunn just could not come up with the play. Well set up, well set up. Booneville has used their last time out in the half. They're going to have third down and goal to go. Mark the ball at the 7-yard line. Frankie Reese runs off the field. Sammy McVay in motion. The quick pass over the middle is deflected and almost picked off by number 31. That's Shadrick McAfee, and that's going to bring up the 4th down situation, and I think we're looking at probably a field goal. The ball is in the middle of the field, and yes, Jimbo is getting the shoe off, so we are going to be having a field goal attempt. Hopefully he'll get that shoe tied before the 25 seconds is up. Clock is stopped at 2:39 to go in the half. He's got it tied, steps off his 2 yards. Good snap and a good hold. Through the upright. 3 points for the Blue Devils. They'll go out in front 10-7. They'll kick it off with 2:34 to go in the half, and Philadelphia will have a chance at a last drive. Big coach. We'll bring Brian Fisher to kick it off on the 40-yard line. It's a short kick, a squib kick towards the near side. It's going to be out of bounds. That's going to move us back to the 35 to kick it off. Probably a planned play there, Ken. Probably see if we might come up with a loose ball on a short kick, and also to prevent against their fast running backs from receiving the ball deep.
Well, I'll tell you what, I lost that in the camera. I looked up and I couldn't find it, so I apologize for that shot because that ball was lost. Philadelphia may take the football here at this point.
It's a good point. They may do that.
Procedure against Booneville, we'll see. It looks like we'll go kick over.
They're going to take the 5-yard penalty. 2:34 to go, and I would say if they're going to have a chance to score, unless they get some real good field position, they're going to have to put the ball in the air. And I think there's none better than our defensive backs for pass coverage, as Bronson Taylor proved just a moment ago.
Booneville penalized 5 yards. Again, Fisher to kick off.
It's a good long kick by Fisher. Received by the up back. Runs into the wedge and missed tackle by one man. And finally brought down. The ball is loose. Booneville says they've got it. I haven't seen any indication. Yes, the referee says Booneville's football. David Kirk, number 82, was wrestling the man down. Oh, now they've reversed it, Ken.
And I think, Cliff, what happened, they was out of bounds before the ball was ever fumbled. The official on the other side of the field was there pointing that it was Philadelphia's ball, so the loose ball on the field at that point had no bearing.
Okay, well, all I saw was the referee point first down Booneville's way. 2:24 to go, 10-7 Booneville. Second quarter. A good play by David Kirk on that play, but it was already out of bounds. They're going to run the option, the pitch. He's got an open field in front of him. Scott Brown, the only man, now finally got out of bounds there to the near side by Tony Fryer. I don't know what happened there, but our outside containment did not show up.
Well, first down for Philadelphia, Cliff, and still plenty of time for them to score. I think that's one of the few times they've gotten a first down this ball game.
It is. And a good play there. The man running the ball then was Crockett, Lamont Crockett, and he's a good size running back. Not bad speed he showed that time because he got around Scott Brown, who almost had the angle on him.
Paper said he's about a 4.4, 4.5 sprinter.
Single setback. 3 men to the left side. Once again, man in motion. They give up the middle. It's the 36, Crockett once again. And that is going to keep the clock running unless they're going to use a timeout, which could use some valuable time for the Tornadoes. Under 2 minutes now to play. Second down, 9 yards to go.
Second down and 9 for the Tornadoes.
Same set we saw a minute ago. 2 men far to the far side. He's back for the pass. Look at over there. He's going to be sacked. Sammy McVeigh. And he coughed up the ball. McVeigh recovered. What a hit Sammy McVeigh put on that quarterback. He's still on the field, still down on his back.
You know, Cliff, a lot of times what they'll do with McVeigh is bring him up on the corner and they'll blitz him. He's actually a cornerback on that particular situation. They blitzed him, and that was a perfect time for him to come up. I hope the kid on the football field is okay, but that was a tremendous lick by Sammy McVeigh.
I could hear that lick up here, and his head just popped as he was hit. That's going to be Hoskins, the quarterback. Without Hoskins, it's going to make this a different ball game. But as you say, I hope he's all right. Number 14, Hoskins walks off under his own power. Sammy McVeigh went over to him, shook his hand, made sure he was all right. And Booneville's going to have the football. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line, 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the clock is running. So we'll be looking at probably passing situations here. They got a slot left. He's going to roll out to the right side. He's in trouble. A flag on the play. He's sacked on the 50-yard line and probably going to be looking at a holding penalty on the offensive line of Booneville.
Of course, if this is a holding, it's going to cost us 10 yards.
And
it's
it
going to
is.
kind of put us back. It's going to hurt, especially with the time we've got left.
They are going to take the penalty, so we'll get first down over again. But from the spot of the foul, it looks like. No, they didn't. They put it on the line of scrimmage. So the hold must have been on up the field. Brown looks at his coach. Drury says, go ahead and run the play. The give up the middle of Sammy. Going to be brought down there just on about the 46-yard line.
You know, Cliff, with less than a minute to go in the first half, Booneville leading 10-7. I believe I'd run the clock out and go in halftime leading.
It looks like that's going to be the strategy.
If you throw the football up here now, you know, only 2 things or 3 things can happen on the pass, and 2 of them are bad. You can complete it or incomplete it, actually. It can be the bad thing. And the other bad thing is Philadelphia could intercept the football.
That's right.
So let's go in 10-7 now while we're looking good instead of maybe coming back behind, say, 14-10.
And that's just not even saying that D. Jenkins could always break that thing all the way. 19 seconds and counting up the middle of D. That's just what they're going to do. If he breaks it, fine. If not, let's go to the locker room with that lead.
They came back with the unbalanced line on that time on their power. But it looks like we're going to go in halftime with this score like it is.
And they do. The buzzer sounds. The Booneville fans are on their feet for the Blue Devils running off the field. The score, Booneville 10, Philadelphia 7. We'll be back for our halftime in just a moment. Here at halftime, as the Blue Devil Band takes the field, we're going to talk about our sponsors and our halftime statistics. The sponsors for today's game that have made this broadcast possible and wish the Blue Devils best of luck are Dr. John White, your state senator and Prentiss County's #1 optometrist, James Goddard of Goddard's Jewelry, Dr. David Chase and family, Doug Jumper of S&J Steel Builders, Langston, Michael and Bowen Law Offices, Dr. Ken Goodwin and family, Patsy Keenum at Sketches, Carolyn Long at the Dress Shop, Ken Shackelford Insurance, Wright Refrigeration and Johnny Wright, Booneville Monument Company and Charles Crowd, Sandy Roberts at Lion Service Station, Bill Murphy of Murphy's Tractor and Equipment, Jerry Houston of Mid-South Motors, Kim Smitherman at Kids Stock, Jane Cole at Formals by Jane and the Drapery Shop, Bobby Pitts at Pitts Office Supply, Jimmy Jones at Gray's Department Store, and Fisher's Family Restaurant, Fred's Pharmacy, Dickerson Furniture Company, Rental Center, and Eastgate Flowers and Gifts. Let's talk about the first half of play. The scoring summary and statistics. As far as scoring, at 7:58 to go in the first quarter, a fumble that was set up by Booneville allowed a 26-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Tennessee Hoskins to number 88, Derek Rush. 26-yard play that made it 7-0. No scoring from then on until one of the first plays in the second quarter, coming at 11:35, a 16-yard breakaway run by number 44, D. Jenkins. That tied the ball game at 7. And then Booneville got good field position once again in the second quarter. At 2:34 to go, they just could not push the ball in the end zone. Made two good attempts at sticking the ball in on two passes into the end zone, but Eddie Nunn could not come up with one, and one was batted away that was intended for Benji Houston. So we settled for a field goal from number 63, Jimbo Laster, and that made it 10-7. There were about 2 turnovers for each team during the first half, and other than that, it was a fine defensive effort, I thought, by the Blue Devils, Ken. And if we can get a shot of the Booneville crowd, of the Booneville band, this experience so far has been a tremendous one for everyone that's been involved in it, and hopefully the second half of play can stay in the same manner, and we can come out with a state championship.
Well, we were real lucky, I think, Cliff, the first half by not allowing Philadelphia with the opportunities that they had to score more than they did. The 2 turnovers coming out with only 1 touchdown, you might say we were real lucky. If we had not had those turnovers early in the ball game, it could be a 10-0 ball game now in favor of Booneville.
That's exactly right. I'm convinced that they would not have moved the ball past the 50-yard line if we would not have given the ball to them right there. Chuck Johnson, Booneville's drum major, leading the band. Interesting to note that Booneville's running back, D. Jenkins, is one of the drummers on Booneville's band, and Summer Parsons, one of the cheerleaders, is also on the drum line, and they're pulling double duty and have all year long. And the Blue Devils take the field for the second half. We've already had the coin toss, and since Philadelphia deferred in the first half, Philadelphia will be receiving the football. Booneville will be kicking, and they will kick away from the sun, which means the sun will be in our eyes in the fourth quarter. The sun is coming across the field from your left to right. As you can see, the shadow maybe of some of the players there or the officials that is coming right over the back end zone, the left end zone. And I think it's certainly a factor, at least on the passing and kicking game. Some more statistics we have on the first half. D. Jenkins was by far the leading rusher for the Blue Devils, and for both teams for that matter. He had 14 rushes for a total of 60 yards. And of course that was highlighted by a 16-yard run for a touchdown in the second quarter. Scott Brown had 3 rushes for just a few yards, counting some losses. And Sammy McVeigh rushed 5 times for only 8 yards. So he was definitely held back. And I think obviously they're going to be keying on Sammy, and as have a lot of the teams in the latter part of the year, because Sammy was such a breakaway runner at the first part of the year. You really can't blame him for that, because they were really keying on linebackers on Sammy. On the Philadelphia side, their leading rusher only had 13 yards, and that was their quarterback, number 14, Hoskins. And it remains to be seen whether Hoskins will be back in this ballgame. He was knocked out late in the first half by a tremendous hit by Sammy McVeigh. We're about to kick it off, waiting for the referee's signal. In the second half, they're having trouble with the clock here. It's still showing no time, and that's what we're waiting on. Some more statistics. The leading receiver for either team was number 88, and that's going to be Derek Rush for the Philadelphia Tornadoes. His 26-yard catch caught us off guard and allowed Philadelphia to score their first touchdown. We're ready now. 12-minute show on the clock. Booneville kicks off a low kick that's going to be handled short and run right into the middle of the field. So Philadelphia will start the ball at their own 40 for good field position. That was number 32. That's the running back Tisdale who fielded the kick. Philadelphia brings it to the line on 1st down and 10. First play from scrimmage in the second half. He's got a split backfield. Takes a snap from center, does a keeper, turns it up. Met hard by Chris Murphy, among others. Jimbo Lasker also in on the tackle. As has been the story of the first half, our defense shutting down the running game. Once again, the split backfield on 2nd down. Then we'll show 3 down linemen, 2 ends. Sammy McVeigh on good pursuit along with Tony Fryer for a loss on the play. Good pursuit by the linebackers and defensive backs on the far side.
Sammy McVeigh defending.
3rd down and 12 yards to go from the 37-yard line, and we got an official's timeout. No, Philadelphia is going to use their first timeout of the second half. They're going to talk about this, or just couldn't get anything going. With 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter, it's Booneville 10 and Philadelphia 7. During the timeout, we were talking, the key to this ball game has definitely been the Booneville defense. And they put themselves on the line once again at 3rd and 12. Quarterback takes snap from center, fakes the dive. He throws long to the near sideline. Bronson Taylor with the coverage. It's caught. A complete pass to number 82. That's going to be Kedrick Graham. He was well covered, but just did a good job of looking for the football when it was in the air. Taylor could not get turned around. A big play for the Tornadoes. They're going to bring a quick huddle to the line on 1st and 10. The officials did not even let the chains get set. They're still running down the field. Split backfield. Number 10, the quarterback, keeps. No, he doesn't. He faked me out. We got a dive play up the middle, a good fake, and it got good yardage. He's just across the 25 to the 24-yard line. 2nd down and about 6. The new quarterback in the ball game is number 10, Houston. Houston, a 151-pound sophomore, a 10th grader. Got him listed as a 2nd-string quarterback. Split backs. The fumble from the snap. Somebody fell on it, and it looks like Booneville fell on the ball. Sammy McVeigh comes out with the loose ball, never got the snap. I'm sure a big factor there was the new quarterback in the football game. And Booneville will take over 1st and 10 with 9:23 to go in the third quarter. Scott Brown brings his Blue Devils to the line, shows a split backfield with McVeigh and Jenkins. And the ball is blown dead by the back judge, and that probably tells you delay a game. And it is. The back judge does keep the delay time in a 5-man official crew. So Booneville is going to have to start first down and 15. Jimbo Laster comes to the line, adjusts the ball. Same basic set by the Blue Devils. The handoff up the middle. Sammy McVeigh with some yards, and he's still on his feet, but he coughs it up. 33 is, no, the ball has been blown dead. And the official gives the second down signal. A big break. He says that the ground caused the fumble, and there was no fumble on the play. Ken, what did you think about that one?
It's a tough one, Cliff. Looked like to me, where was his knees? Of course, we don't have instant replay, so we can't tell.
I would have to say it again, and I hate to say that it was a fumble if it was, and I hate to second guess. But I will say I think Booneville may have got a real good break right there. Up the middle of Sammy again. Sammy gets good yardage, good blocking up the middle. Jerry Etheridge, Frankie Reese, Joseph Johnson, all of them with good blocking. Booneville's got first down, the split backfield, and a fumble from snap again. Second down, the official says, so that means that Booneville did regain possession of the ball. Scott Brown fell on it. I don't know what the problem is between the quarterbacks and the centers. I did hear one of the young men say yesterday after their workout that the field was awful sandy, but they did not work out on this field. They worked out on an adjacent field, so the condition of the playing field I'm not sure about. Up the middle of D. Jenkins, he's wrapped up early, but a flag comes in late. Number 12 is Moore, one of their major defensive players. But it's not going to matter. It's going to be a holding call against Booneville. He's talking the options over with number 12, the defensive captain, who is also Moore. He's telling him he can take third down and 10 or he can take second down and 20. And they're going to opt for second down and 20. So this will really put Booneville in a hole on second down. Bronson Tabler runs up to the wide side. They're going to show Eddie Nunn in the slot. Also, D. Jenkins, Sammy McVeigh to the near side in motion. Brown with a quick pass over to McVeigh, who's looking to throw it again, but it's short to Benji Houston. A unique little play if it'll work, but if I counted 5 defensive backs downfield for Philadelphia, so they were not fooled on the play at all. On that play, Coach Drury is depending on the pursuit to move up into Sammy when he catches the ball, and they just did not do that. They stayed in their places and had everybody covered up. .648 to go in the third quarter. 10-7 Booneville. Out of the split backfield. Brown takes his drop, dumps it off to McVeigh. He gets back to about the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up fourth down and 10. Good little dump pass by Scott Brown. But the punting team is going to be coming on for the Blue Devils.
Brings up a fourth down for the Blue Devils.
Shadrick McAfee back deep for the Tornadoes. Houston, good snap from Fisher. A wobbly kick, but a good kick. Going to go out of bounds at the 34-yard line. No, the 36-yard line of Philadelphia, and they'll take it first down and 10 from right there.
26-yard.
Third quarter. Philadelphia on first and 10 with split backfield. Wide man to the right, and the broken play by the new quarterback, number 10. He had to take it himself and dive into the line. So Tisdale, Hoskins, the starting quarterback, is still out of the ball game. I've been trying to spot him on the sidelines over there. With 5:44 and counting to go in the third quarter. Booneville 10, Philadelphia 7. Second down, 8 yards to go. Quarterback Houston. Takes the snap and is wrapped up. The ball's on the ground, and Booneville's going to have it. Another turnover for Philadelphia. Booneville will have the ball 1st and 10 on about the 34-yard line. Brian Fisher, if I'm not mistaken, came up with that loose ball. 3 different Booneville defensive linemen were in there on that quarterback. Again, the loss of their first-string quarterback has really hurt Philadelphia. And I am looking across the field, and number 14 has got his helmet off, and he is laying on the bench with 3 attendants. They're looking at his ribs. I don't think he'll be back in this ball game. Scott Brown to the line. Quick pitch to the short side of the field. D. Jenkins can't get anything. 2nd down 11 on Philadelphia's 36-yard line. The sun is beginning to become a factor in this ball game and also in our camera's exposure probably, so trying to stay in the shade as much as we can. The pitch from Brown, a good pitch. McVeigh pushed out of bounds, may have the 1st down. 3rd down, 6 yards to go, and Scott Brown wants a timeout. Booneville will use their first timeout of the half with 4:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. And once again, Booneville 10, Philadelphia 7. In the center of your picture, at the young man with his shoulder pads off and no jersey, he's walking off with an ice pack on his shoulder. That is number 14, the starting quarterback for the Tornadoes, Hoskins. And the loss of Hoskins will really, really affect the outcome of this ball game. And Scott Brown comes to the line with a split backfield. It slots to the left. The throw over to the Bronson Tabler, complete. Bronson falls forward for the 1st down. The 2nd time that play has been successful in this ball game.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And if the cornerback does not watch out in this ball game, Booneville will pump fake that play, and Bronson will take off on a fly pattern, and you'll see a touchdown out of that play. We're 1st and 10 from just outside the 10-yard line. He hands to D. Jenkins and barely got the handoff away before they were wrapped up. Booneville can get a 1st down, but they would have to be on the 1-inch line to get it. So it's basically 1st down and goal, or now 2nd down and goal. Second down, Jenkins to the near side, and it's going to be on a penalty, looks like probably on Booneville. I'm going to guess that's a blocking below the waist. They're going to call holding. There was a man out in front of Jenkins, and I'm not sure who it was, but he got caught red-handed. That will really hurt. They'll be talking about 2nd down and about, let's see, they're going to spot the ball at the 18-yard line, so 2nd down and 17 and a half.
Definitely changes the pattern for Booneville now, because basically we've been a running football team all year.
That's exactly right. The I formation, the drop back pass. He's looking for Bronson Tabler over the middle. Bronson's there. Did he make the catch? Oh, he says he's on the back line. He said he was out of bounds. Excellent concentration by Bronson Tabler. He tried to get 1 foot in, but the back judge was right on it and said that he did not.
Of course, Cliff, you and I both being officials, there's a situation there where the back judge was not deep enough. He was still inside the end zone and thus didn't have a good opportunity to make a good call. So he was really out of position to make the call.
I agree with you, Ken. It's much like a basketball official. If he's not standing down that line, he doesn't know if the man stepped on the line or not. And they've got Bronson isolated up there now on 3rd down. The I formation, McVeigh in motion. And Brown wants his 2nd time out of the half. That's not good. With 2:51 to go in the 3rd quarter, Booneville 10, Philadelphia 7. We've got 3rd down. About 20 yards to go for the first down. Booneville once again in the I formation. McVeigh to the near side in motion. Brown a 5-step drop. He's going to Benji Houston in the end zone. Almost picked off. He was covered up. But it was still a good pass. He did a good job of trying to find an open man, but the problem was there really wasn't an open man. So Philadelphia did an excellent job on defense that time. Fourth and 20 situation, Ken. The ball is on the 19-yard line. A field goal here would be about a 35 or 40-yarder, so they're definitely going to go for it here. Same formation, same motion, straight drop back. He's looking long for Sammy, and he's overthrowing him.
Well, Cliff, you know, the circumstance of what happened in this drive is very simple. The holding penalty really cost us. As I said earlier, Booneville is not known to be a passing football game or football team, so therefore we have to rely on the run more. And when you get a holding call, it kind of puts you out of your game plan, so to speak, and then we had to throw.
That's right. You can't depend on the option at second down and 20 yards to go. 2:38 to go, third quarter. Booneville holds on to a 3-point lead. And the quarterback, number 14, is back in the ball game, the original starter. He bobbles the snap, hands off to 36, who gets an open field. He's got Green in front of him unless Tabler can get him. Bryson Tabler makes the play, but after a big gain, about 50 yards on the run. That was 36 Crockett, the man whose speed we've been talking about. And this ball game in 3 plays has completely changed its look. And we don't need to see a momentum shift at this time. Quarterback, original starter Hoskins, calls the snap. Keeper, and he's going to gain about 5 yards on the play. Once again, some missed tackles. Frankie Reese, Benji Houston failed to lock up. Hoskins with a split backfield. Back to pass. Pursued by Reese, gets away from him. But he can't get around Benji Houston. He gained about 2 yards, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. Chris Murphy had a chance at him there. Chuck Ellard also, but they just could not cut the speed off. Hoskins doesn't appear that his injury is slowing him down at all, Ken. And he went from having what we thought was an ice pack on his shoulder to being in the ball game. I'm not sure now that was him we were isolated on. Could very well have been someone else. Dive up the middle, and it's going to be a 1st down and more. Jimbo Lester finally makes the tackle. But that's going to bring up 1st down and 10 for Philadelphia. 49 seconds to go in the 3rd. Momentum has really shifted in this game. Under 35 seconds and counting. Hoskins calls the signals. Quick pitch to the far side, number 36, and he's wrapped up by Sammy McVeigh on the solo tackle. McVeigh got up under him and just took his legs out from under him. A good way to tackle a big back like Crockett.
A smart tackle by Sammy. You don't try to hit him upstairs, hit him where his feet are. If I was Philadelphia, if I was going to run outside, I'd try the other side, and I wouldn't come back to Sammy McVeigh.
That's a good point. As we start the first play of the 4th quarter, Cliff Long, along with Ken Shackelford, bringing you this tape delay broadcast. Philadelphia's got it 2nd down. And Tisdale's going to dive forward. I'm not sure how many yards he got. Kind of cheated by diving up the middle there, but he didn't get what he needed. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. Once again, no complaints on the Booneville defense. 2 long passes have hurt Booneville. One for a touchdown, but the other, I felt like Bryson Tabler had it covered up. Just could not get turned around where he needed to get turned. And look, Philadelphia now is calling their second timeout of the second half, leaving them only one, and Booneville's only got one left. With 11:30 to go in this fourth quarter, Booneville 10, Philadelphia 7. Third down, 8 yards to go. Spot the ball at the 14.5-yard line. I formation. Quarterback Hoskins calls the snap count. Fakes the pitch. He's in trouble. He gets away. Across the middle. It's almost picked off, but dropped by Tony Fryer. Good coverage by the defensive secondary of the Blue Devils. It's going to bring up fourth down, Ken, and the field goal unit is coming on for Philadelphia.
They definitely dodged the bullet in, Cliff. So this is going to be a...
It looks like about a 31-yard field goal.
Very important.
Booneville's trying to get the right number of people in the ball game. I count 10 men for Booneville, so they're one short. But it won't matter. The kick is very close but short. The ball just hung in the air and just did not quite make it to the upright. Booneville with 10 men in the game dodged the bullet right there. Booneville fans on their feet, waving the flags. First and 10 for the Blue Devils in the split backfield, and coughed up by McVeigh, but it's going to be blown dead by the officials. Oh, it could have been a big break. It's going to be encroachment on the defense. Instead of a turnover, it's going to be first down and 5 for Booneville. So one of the defensive linemen for the Tornadoes could have cost them a turnover right there. It seemed to be a good pitch by Scott, and Sammy just lost his concentration momentarily, looked away, looked into the line, and just dropped it. But I saw the official on the far side waving his arms, trying to get the play stopped. So first and 5 for the Blue Devils. Split backs. Bronson Tabler wide to the right side. Up the middle of D. He dodges one man and then gets away from another, breaks the tackle. He's on the outside around the end and finally brought down. Number 21 brings him down after a good gain of about 30 yards.
Cliff, what a run by Sammy. Excuse me. I'm so excited. What a run by D. Jenkins. It looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. What does he do? You cannot coach speed in football. Either you got it or you don't got it, and that kid has got it.
Looked like everybody else was in slow motion. And he just came out of there, and instead of running out of bounds, he just turned it up right at the out of bounds line and went straight up the field. First and 10. Brown calls the snap signals. Up the middle to McVeigh. He's looking for a hole to go into. He's going to gain maybe 2.
McVeigh on the carry.
A low-scoring ball game. I think everybody knew it would be.
Flag on the play.
And apparently a major penalty on the Tornadoes. It looked like they called a personal foul. I'm going to check it again. Dead ball, personal foul against the Tornadoes. Another 15 yards for the Blue Devils field position.
Very, very tough time for Philadelphia to not be smart, especially a dead ball, 15-yard free gift for the Blue Devils. Of course, we'll take it, but this is the game, and you can't make those kind of mistakes in this football game.
Using a dead ball personal foul after the play will just mean a late hit, unnecessary roughness, something like that. The sneak up the middle for Brown. Good yardage on first down. He's going to cross the 30-yard line, get to about the 28. The give up the middle to McVeigh for a couple of yards. Going to bring up about 3rd and 4.
Of course, Cliff, this is Booneville football right here at its best. Run out the clock, play good offense, make the defense come after you. We're gaining ground on 2 directions now. One, we're going toward the goal line. The second thing we're doing is eating up some of that valuable time off the clock. But I will bet you this, if Booneville scores, Philadelphia's got to go the air more.
The power eye. D. Jenkins looks for some room, but he is stopped short by a gang of Philadelphia tacklers. He's going to be about 1.5 yards short. Now they're on the left hash, not a good place for a field goal. It would be a long field goal. And I believe Scott Brown wants time out here. Now, no, he did not ask for a timeout. He just walked all the way to the sidelines, said something to Coach Presley, and then they're going to go back in and run the play. Going for it on 4th down. About 1.5 yards to go. The power eye. D. Jenkins at tailback. Sammy runs behind. D runs behind McVay. Breaks open into the open. Touchdown, Blue Devils. D. Jenkins on the same play he scored on earlier in this ball game behind Sammy McVay and Eddie Nunn. And that will go a long way towards winning this football game. The game is far from over, but it's going to take 2 scores now for Philadelphia to win this football game.
Definitely a big play, Cliff. Big play. Everybody thinking maybe just a short yardage play. D broke it outside, 6 points. Can't coach speed.
Now we got a 9-point lead for the Blue Devils. Laster with the extra point attempt. It's good. That's going to be a 10-point lead, 17-7. 8 minutes, 37 seconds left in the ball game. The Booneville fans going wild, and defensive coordinator Riley Presley has got to be thinking about the pass defense right now. The Tornadoes down by 10 points. Just about are going to have to put the ball in the air at some time. A low line drive by Fisher. It gets away from the front line. 31 picks it up at the 12-yard line, and he breaks 2 tackles. Finally brought down there by a host of Blue Devils. Brian Fisher, the kicker, makes the tackle. Philadelphia needs to sustain a drive here to stay in this football game. 1st down and 10 yards to go from the 26-yard line. The I formation. Up the middle to number 36, Crockett, and he's wrapped up there by number 63, Jimbo Laster. Quarterback, Taneska Hoskins with the I formation. Got Crockett at tailback. He's going to keep on the option. He's got good speed. Finally wrapped up by Jerry Etheridge on good pursuit, and also Jimbo Laster. It's going to be a 1st down.
Cliff's only a little error there. Somebody's got to pick the quarterback up. Somebody didn't, of course. They can't do that all day. I'm sure the Coach Presley was going to make an adjustment on that, which they know what to do because they've seen films on Philadelphia. So it's an error there. Philadelphia cashed in on it, but we're still in good shape.
I saw Coach Presley talking with Frankie Reese. Probably he's the man that, with quarterback responsibilities on the option. The pass to the far side. Number 11 hit hard. He catches the ball, but Scott Brown puts it on him. He caught the ball after a 9-yard gain, but paid for it. 6:45 to go. The clock's running. Booneville 17, Philadelphia 7. Quarterback, Taneska Hoskins, with split backfield. And now they change into the I formation. He's got Tisdale and Crockett. Hand off to Crockett. Up the middle for good yardage before Murphy, Houston, and Laster finally get him down. So Philadelphia moving the football, but the clock is also moving. Booneville sidelines and crowd and band all on their feet. They won't sit down again for this one. Split into the near side. I formation. Fake dive. Passes long to the near side. Almost picked off. The only man that had a chance to catch that ball was Tony Fryer. Intended for 82 Graham, but good pass coverage there and good pressure by the defensive line. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Philadelphia in 4-down territory, so if they don't make it, they would go for it. But another long pass. Bronson Tabler, he's got the interception. One-handed. He returns it back to about the 20-yard line. Bronson Tabler. Hoskins threw it right to him, Ken.
The old center fielder, he caught the fly ball, overthrew his receiver. Bronson was there. Excellent. We need this. We need to run the clock out. I hate to say it, but it looks good right now.
How many interceptions does Bronson Tabler have in playoffs this year? I really can't count it. And throughout the season, I'm guessing here, between 8 and 10 on the season. Season and playoffs, but I know he had one in probably each of the playoff games. 5:24 and counting. 17-7 Booneville. They're certainly going to keep the ball on the ground here unless I'm badly mistaken. The power eye. D. Jenkins at tailback. Eddie Nunn at fullback. Jenkins falls Nunn through the hole and gains good yardage on first down. We won't rush back to the huddle here. We'll try to use 25 seconds and then snap it.
Well, Cliff, you look at the situation now for Philadelphia, you can see a little different look in their attitude at this point. You're down 10 points. You got to have the football back. What do you do? And now you turn it over. It's difficult to come back in that situation. But Philadelphia must have had well, there's no doubt they have a fine football team, and today so far it's been all Booneville, except for their one drive and their one score.
The give to Sammy. He's close to the first down. I believe he's going to have the first down. And he does. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. 4:24. And they'll wind it up after they get the chains set. And the clock starts. 4:20 and counting. They're going to take their time. The full 25 seconds if possible. Jerry Etheridge in for Johnny Murphy. Frankie Reese tied into the near side. Benji Houston tied into the far side. The wishbone set. The quarterback sneak right up the middle. 3:37 and counting. 4th quarter, 2nd down, 7. The power eye. Strong to the near side. The give to D. Jenkins, who gets about 5. He's across the 40-yard line.
Cliff, I hate to bring this up again, but you can definitely now see that Philadelphia is not playing the caliber football they played earlier. But again, I repeat myself, they're behind 10 points. The clock is not in their favor. Booneville has the football. They're gaining yardage, and they're getting a little depressed, I'm sure, at this point, especially since they lost their last drive with an interception. But if it had to happen to anybody, I'm glad it happened to Philadelphia and not Booneville.
You got to feel that way. Measurement for the first down. They lay the stick down. It's very close. Referee's thinking about it. He's going to reach down there, and it's not going to be a first down, but it's going to lack about 1 chain link, about 2 inches, and it is 3rd down and short yardage. A little bit early for celebration, but the tension is building. The Booneville fans want so bad to explode, to celebrate, but it's just a little bit early for that. We gotta clean up and do the rest of our work first. The wishbone set. Brown takes the quarterback sneak and did not get much. Line judge to the near side has the spot, but the referee says first down. Every first down from here on out is going to be a thorn in Philadelphia. They've only got 1 timeout left, as far as I know, maybe none. Clock running at 2:50. All Booneville's got to do is hold on to the football. Brown gives to McVeigh. He finds an open spot, breaks the tackle. Quarterback Scott Brown brings his Blue Devils to the line in the wishbone set. He's taking his time. Good coaching by Jim Drury right here. Runs off a few more seconds, gives to Sammy, who slips through the sandy ground. We're coming right to the 2-minute mark. Clock's running, and now under 2 minutes to go. That's another 25 seconds. Booneville can eat up. Coach Drury telling Scott, take your time. You got 25 seconds after that referee blows his whistle, and that's what they're doing. I don't know if you can see it, but Coach Drury is holding his hand up. And Scott will not begin the snap count until Drury puts his hand down, which he did. The give to Sammy again. He's wrapped up. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10 from the 44-yard line.
What do you think?
Well, I think barring disaster, Booneville High School will be the state 2A champions.
It's going to take an earthquake to make any difference.
I believe you're exactly right.
We saw on a car coming over here, an earthquake was possible, but no tornadoes today.
That's what he said. He said, earthquake maybe, tornado no way. Referee's blowing the whistle, starting ready for play, 3rd down and 10. They're still going to stay conservative here, Ken. I'm sure about it. The pitch to Greg Simmons at tailback. Good blocking up front. He finds an opening. Greg Simmons breaks into the open. He's going to score a touchdown for the Blue Devils. What a cap to this ball game. Greg Simmons with fantastic blocking. In front of him, he breaks through. Everybody's going wild. I don't see a flag. Look at this celebration.
Well, we can say it now. We can say it now. Booneville, Class 2A state champions, 1990.
First ever state championship for a Booneville football team. First state championship in any, I can say, major sport in many years. The golf team won the state championship last year. Other than that, it's been many years since Booneville's seen a state championship team. The extra point by Laster, he's been perfect today. 1:18 to go. Booneville 24, Philadelphia 7. $1:19 to go, 4th quarter. Booneville 24, Philadelphia 7. Once again, Brian Fisher to kick it off. He takes his kickoff team out to the 40-yard line, and hugs and tears already being exchanged by players, cheerleaders, fans. They've taken the field. I imagine the water bucket is looming back there somewhere for Coach Gullett and Coach Drury, that is. Fisher, the low line drive, has been successful all day long, and that's going to be down right there at the 32-yard line. 1 minute, 17 seconds. 4th quarter. Booneville with a good lead. This ball game is over. No injuries today, really for major injuries for neither team. It's been a fantastic high school ball game.
Cliff, the Booneville fans are on the sidelines. They are waiting to hit this field when this game is over with. This is going to be bedlam, you might say, in small scale, but it's really fantastic. For you people who are watching this, you have missed one fine Booneville High School football game.
The fan support has really been good. It's a long way down the Natchez Trace on a Friday afternoon on a working day, but there are hundreds of fans here to see this football game.
Hey,
and we're running out the clock now.
Cliff, the trip home won't be very long at all.
That's right. That's right.
This is really something. I wish everybody in Booneville could be here because it's hard to imagine. It's hard to put words, the feeling. The players, the coaches, the fans, the band. It's just wonderful.
And they'll have this memory for the rest of their lives. Quarterback Hoskins will probably run the last play of the ball game right here. 14 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. The 2A state championship. The quarterback pitches to the far side. 36 Crockett tries to find an open area. One more tackle and this ball game's over. And it's made by Frankie Reese, number 84, among others. Joel Tollefson also in the ball game. And they count it down to no time on the clock. Booneville High School has won their first ever football state championship. We're going to try to bring you an interview with Coach Drury. We're also going to bring you the after-game celebration at the Best Western Hotel here in Jackson. We're going to have a catered celebration after the game and try to give you some shots from that. Right now, the awarding of the trophy, if we can find the trophy out of the middle of the field, they're going to be giving it to Coach Drury. Coach Drury shakes hands with Coach David Oakes of Philadelphia. As Booneville Band plays the fight song. And the trophy walks out to the field, middle of the field, and with the red jacket on is Dr. Woodrow Marsh. He is the executive director of the Mississippi High School Activities Association. The final score, Booneville 24, Philadelphia 7. Dr. Marsh trying to get into the crowd and find Coach Drury. Fans all out on the middle of the field, cheerleaders, players. handshakes from the losing Philadelphia team. I see former players on the field, former students, all taking part, parents, all taking part in the celebration.
Cliff, and I don't know what time Booneville's coming back tonight. They don't have a set time, but I bet you when they come up that Booneville Hill, there's going to be some horns tooting and some sirens going off.
That's right. No matter how late that celebration occurs, I believe somebody will be there waiting on us.
At the 50-yard line, we'd like to call your attention to the trophy presentation.
And you hear the loudspeaker calling your attention to Dr. Marsh in the middle of the field. Coach Drury just got the water. No, that was Mr. Lindley, the principal. They poured the Gatorade all over him. I don't know if we got that on film.
To a team from Philadelphia. Somebody from Philadelphia.
Now they're asking for the Tornadoes to come to the field and accept a second place trophy, which is having some trouble getting them to do that.
Wins and 2 losses.
Philadelphia ends a fine season, and anybody though, Ken, that called us underdogs coming into this ball game, I think they were just dead wrong. I don't think we were underdogs in this ball game. We proved we were a better football team now than Philadelphia is now. Now, it was a different story back in September, but we're the best football team in the state of Mississippi in Class 2A right now.
There's no question about that. There's no question. You look back over our season, and of course the loss to Philadelphia hurt us. At that time, early in the year, we were 3-2, and who would have thought at this point we would be this far and win the state championship, win 12 football games.
A record of 12-2, the state 2A champions. Coach Jim Drury and his assistants Riley Presley.
Jimbo Lester holds up the championship trophy, and other hands go up. Number 1, Booneville Blue Devils. All right, we're back down on the field staring into the sun. I got Bronson Tabler with me. Bronson, you had 2 big plays in the ball game. One of them was, I felt like, a completed pass. You were all over the man. You turned around maybe the wrong way, and he caught the ball.
Yes.
What about that play?
I was with him, and then I turned. He looked up, and I saw his eyes. His eyes got big, and that's when I turned. And the ball wasn't quite there yet, so I kind of slowed up. And he was fast anyway, so he got by me. He got about 2 steps in front of me, and I got back to him. But the way the ball was thrown, it was thrown over to the outside, and he was able to. I was inside him anyway, and he was able to get out there, and I couldn't get back in position after it was, thrown back to the outside. But after that, everybody was behind me. Nobody said, come on, let's go. You screwed up or anything. Everybody was behind me. We turned it around, and they fumbled, and we got the momentum back. So
I believe that's what this team is. All right, and then late in the ball game, one of the biggest plays. What happened? The quarterback way overthrew everyone, and you were like playing a center field in baseball. Just went back there and got the ball.
Yeah, I just I was on my man, and Eddie Nunn come back, and he was inside him, and I was back playing outside, and I saw that he was overthrown, and I didn't know if I could get there or not, but I just, went for it, and it was there. And then after that, we just put it in the bag after that, because, like you said, everybody's just, it's like a big family. We wanted this, and that's why they came in overconfident, I feel like, and we wanted this too much. We had to come out on top as much as we wanted it. It's just no way.
Your senior year, any way you can describe how this feels?
No way. It's just nothing. It's, you've heard of adrenaline high. This is. I mean, it hadn't soaked in on me yet, and I'm just floating in the air. I don't know and it hadn't even soaked in. So.
Well, I don't want to put any pressure on you right here, but this would be a good time to give us a scoop. What do you hope to do next year? Is your football playing days over, or do you hope to continue playing ball?
I hope not. I'm not sure where I'm going to go to school yet. I've got a couple of places in mind I'd like to go, but I haven't got any offers for scholarships or academic or football. But I'm not. Even if I go somewhere, I love football. It's a part of me, and I'll walk on. So wherever I go, I'll walk on and try my best to be there.
Great attitude. Thank you, Bronson.
Thank you.
We're going to try to get Coach Presley in here. He's right there. Come here, Coach Presley. We're going to get, here he is. He's going to got to tell it. Oh, he's going to balk on us and not come and give us an interview. Another senior, Jimbo Laster. Jimbo, can you tell us how it feels?
It feels great. I mean, that's all you can say. We came out here and played the hardest, and we had a little trouble there to get going. We just sucked it up and played like we knew we could play.
The defense, I thought the key for Booneville, every time they got deep in our territory, we held them out, except for one.
Well, we played with more intensity this game because, you know, we had a lot riding on the line. And, I mean, I just didn't. Everybody sucked it up and we played like we were supposed to. And when our defense plays the way we were supposed to, we've been playing together for a long time now. I can't remember how many years, but we just stuck it out and stuck it to them like we were supposed to.
I agree. Tell us what else you want to send out a personal message for us. Tell us what it is.
That's all I want to say. I love you, bro.
Tell us where your brother is.
He's in the Philippines.
All right, in the military. All right, back to the dressing room now. We're with Coach Tim Moore. He's the offensive coordinator for the Blue Devils. Tim, this, I'm sure, is your first state playoff championship coaching football, and how did it feel being a part of this championship team this year?
I tell you what, it's a great feeling. You can't go out any better than this, and it's been a long-term project. These kids started back in the 9th grade, and we was talking about this thing. I'm sure they've already told you, and it's just a great way to cap it off.
All right, tell us what your offensive plan was coming into the game today.
Well, just like every game this year, our tandem of backs, Jenkins and McVeigh and Simmons in there, we was trying to stick it at them, but coming into this game, we knew we were going to have to get outside a little bit more. I was surprised that we were able to run off tackle like we were.
I agree with you. And the power eye, the wishbone, once again, just as successful. And we didn't need but 2 breakaways with D to break it open.
That's right. Coach Drury come in, and we've been running a lot of unbalanced lines, especially after the playoffs started and getting in a power eye set. And people have been having trouble adjusting to it. So I think that had a great deal to do with us being able to run off tackle like we did.
We want to congratulate you, and great win for y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Number 9, Eddie Nunn. Eddie, you played both ways today, and how'd you feel about the ball game?
I felt great. I was really fired up about this game because earlier this season I didn't get to play against them because I was hurt. And they was talking how bad in the paper, how they was going to beat us, and that really fired me up. And so I got the team fired up, and we went out there and did what we had to do and brought the trophy home.
I thought it was a good job on our containment on their option play. That's about all they ran was the option.
Yeah, but we came along and we stopped it and everything. Everybody had to adjust to it, you know. So one person was taking another play, and the person supposed to have been taking that play was taking it. And then we finally adjusted to it, and we stopped the offense.
All right, great senior year for you, Eddie. Congratulations.
Number 1, baby.
Coach Drury, the one we've been wanting to talk to. Your first state football championship ever after many years of coaching. How do you feel?
Well, you know, this is, I told someone a while ago, Cliff, this is, of course, by far my happiest moments in coaching. It's the biggest ball game I've ever been involved in coaching and everything. And this is just such a great win, not only for our football team, but for all the people back in Booneville.
Right, you had to be a little bit concerned. The first 2 fumbles of the football game deep in our own territory.
Oh my goodness! You know, we fumbled the open kickoff, and Tony got bummed up on the play. Didn't know it at that particular time. Then the other turnover, after our defense dug in and held them, and then the pass, in which it was Tony's man who caught the pass, but Tony was kind of out of it, Cliff. He got, like I said, he got bummed up on the opening kickoff. But the good thing about that young man was that he came back and made a touchdown saving knockdown with the score 10-7 at the time. So we just played, I felt like, as far as the ball game was concerned, super outside of 2 or 3 mistakes. Bronson Taylor's making a game-saving tackle over here on the sideline. Sammy McVeigh's big hit on defense on the quarterback. And then we got some fine running out of Sammy and D. Jenkins, and had to have some good blocking. And then Greg come back and broke the same play that D had broken for a touchdown there when he got kind of bummed up at the end of the ball game.
What about this group of seniors you're losing?
Oh man, this is 11 of the finest young men.
We're at the Best Western Hotel. For those of you that haven't already turned the volume down on your TV set to get our voice off the air, we're here in Jackson Metro Center. The Best Western, the team has just come in, and we've got a couple of 300 people here for a barbecue catered dinner for everyone here and the team. Eddie Nunn brought the championship trophy in and held it up. And it's dark in here. You might not be able to see what's going on, but it's a great atmosphere in here, and some tears and some yelling and screaming celebration, and a lot of them just quiet and don't really realize what they've had yet, what's happened, and maybe tomorrow morning or maybe next week they'll realize they've won the state championship. I don't know if we better see it. It's dark in here. All right, Ken, tell us what you think.
Cliff, good ball game. It's always nice to go to a victory party and win. It's not very much fun, but still, Booneville played a super football game today. Beat a good Philadelphia team. Told Coach Drury after the football game, going home tonight, there won't be many people asleep going up Natchez Trace, and when we get back to Booneville, everybody's asleep, so to wake up, because I'm sure the sirens are going off and the horns go off. It's a great day for you people who missed it. You missed a tremendous football game by too many people. Not one player, too many people. It's wonderful. Booneville is the Class 2A state champions. What else can you say? Number one. We finished the season not even ranked in the polls. But now we're number one.
That's exactly right. And the lights are coming on here. You might be able to see a little bit better, but we're going to wrap it up, eat some barbecue for ourselves. We've seen a great football game, as we said. I think we said all that there is to say. And final score from Clinton, Mississippi College Stadium, Booneville 24, Philadelphia 7.
Okay, the state championship for the Booneville Blue Devils, 24 over Philadelphia. And they scored 7 points. And the Philadelphia Tornadoes had come into Booneville earlier in the year and beat the Blue Devils 25-0. And the Blue Devils get another opportunity to show that they did not play the true Blue Devils that night. And the Booneville seniors had held true on their promise that they would show them what the Blue Devils were all about, bringing home the state championship to Booneville. What a way to go out as seniors. Speaking of seniors, I tell you, it's been a great year. And we're going to miss those guys. And this is for you guys. I'd just like to do this one more time. Starting for Booneville tonight, number 5, Scott Brown, 171-pound senior. Number 7, Bronson Tabler, 140-pound senior. Number 8, Benji Houston, 210-pound senior. Number 9, Eddie Nunn, 184-pound senior. Number 26, Sammy McVeigh, 190-pound senior. 34, D. Jenkins, 192-pound senior. Number 60, Joseph Johnson, 216-pound senior. 61, Chuck Ellard, 185-pound senior. Number 63, Jimbo Laster, 170-pound senior. Number 70, Chris Murphy, 226-pound senior. Number 74, Brian Fisher, 230-pound senior. Thanks for the memories, guys. We hope everyone has enjoyed Prentiss County in action football for 1990, and what a classic way to end the season. Next week, we start off the round ball in Prentiss County. We'll be